Hi, welcome to Mark's English Academy, the place to learn English fast. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you the sounds b, p, k, and g. And if you're from Thailand, then I want you to listen very carefully in this lesson. So 3 years ago, I was volunteering at an orphanage in Thailand, and I asked a girl what her name was, and she said, "Bang." And I said, "Sorry, could you say it again?" And she said, "Bang." And I didn't understand if she was saying pang or bang. And that's because in Thailand, people don't pronounce the P or the B very strongly. It sounds like the same sound. You can't understand which of these sounds they're saying. Okay, but in English, you can hear the difference. There's a very big difference. B and P. Okay, so in the last lesson, I taught you that there are two kinds of consonants. There are voiced consonants and unvoiced consonants. So a voiced consonant, like B, you can feel your voice box. You use your voice box. Put your fingers here and say B, B. Okay, you can feel your voice box vibrating. But the sound P, P, it's unvoiced. So you shouldn't feel any vibrations in your neck. P, P. It's just air passing through your lips. Okay. Another difference between these sounds is how much air actually leaves your mouth. Okay, so to show you, I have a paper here. Watch how much air hits the paper, okay? B, P, B, P, B, P, B, P. You see how much difference there is. I would say in the sound P, there's probably at least 2 or 3 times more air that leaves your mouth. P, paper goes all the way over. That's how much air there is. So when you say these sounds, try to make them a little bit stronger. B, P, B, P. Okay. People from Thailand have a problem with this, but also other people from Southeast Asia, like Vietnam, Cambodia. Okay, so try to make them a little bit stronger. And to practice these sounds, let's read this sentence. Peter and Bob picked a bucket of perfect plump peaches and big bitter blackberries. The word plump means full, fat, and round. So if something's plump, it's like peaches. A peach, we would say a peach is plump if it's really nice and round and fat and juicy. So we would say that's a very plump peach. Okay, or a person could be plump. If a person is fat and round, then you could say they're a little bit plump. But you should be careful when you talk about people's weight in Western cultures, because it can be offensive. In a lot of countries like China or India, calling someone fat is actually almost a good thing. In China, I live in China, and people call me fat. I've had lots of people tell me that I'm fat. Okay. So, you know, I don't mind it. It's okay. But if you go to Canada or the United States or Australia or England and you call someone fat or plump, it's not a good idea. You need to be very careful. Okay, so in this sentence we have the sounds p, b, b, p, b, p, 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 b, 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 b. Okay. Peter and Bob picked a bucket of perfect plump peaches and big bitter blackberries. Okay, so next I'm going to teach you the sounds k and g. But first, it's sponsor time. This lesson is brought to you by nobody. Instead of watching me watch people do aerobics, you could be watching me promote your product or service. All right, the next two sounds are k and g. Now, for these sounds, your mouth actually stays in the same position. K, g. Your tongue and your jaw and your lips, everything is almost exactly the same. The only thing that changes, again, is the difference between a voiced consonant and an unvoiced consonant. So with the sound G, 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 that has a voice, okay? Put your fingers here. G, G. You can feel the vibrations. But for the sound K, K, there's no vibrations. It's just air passing through the back of your tongue pinches the top of your mouth. For example, if this is your tongue and this is the front of your mouth, so your teeth are here and this is your tongue, it's k, k, k. Okay? Unvoiced consonants tend to be a bit sharper than voiced consonants because what makes the sound is the air. There's no voice, so there has to be more air to make it louder. K, k. Okay, I have to push out lots of air when you make these voiceless sounds like ch, t, s, p, k. Okay, there's a lot more air because it doesn't use the voice box. So k and g. All right, let's read this sentence to practice. So the colorful chameleon glowed a gorgeous green to disguise itself from the king cobra. So we have two animals here. A chameleon, which is like a lizard, which can change colors to camouflage itself from enemies. And an enemy would be like a king cobra. A king cobra is a snake that lives in India and several other countries. It's got a flat head. If it's going to attack you, it stands up like this and it'll bite you. So you have to be careful for king cobras. I don't think chameleons are dangerous. I don't think I've seen a chameleon in real life. Maybe I've seen one at a zoo, but I've never seen one on a tree or walking around. Okay, so this word here, disguise, that means to hide by changing something about you. Another word could be camouflage. Camouflage, like if you're in the military, if you're in the army, they wear, you know, the green and brown, tan uniforms to blend in to like trees or desert or whatever, so that enemy forces can't see them. Okay, that's called camouflage. So this word disguise. Now, so here are the sounds: k, k, g, 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 k, k, k. But this word, it could be either one. You could choose. And it doesn't really matter because they're both so close. Listen, if you listen to me to see if you can hear the difference. Disguise and disguise. There's no difference. So k, disguise or disguise. When you say it fast, you can't tell the difference. I would say disguise with a K sound. Disguise, disguise. But I mean, it doesn't matter because you can't hear it. But if these sounds are at the beginning of a word, most of the time they're very important to get it right. So like colorful. If you said gullerful, it wouldn't make sense. So colorful, especially if these sounds are at the front of words. But also, they are important at the end of words and in the middle of words too. But sometimes if they're around certain other sounds, like the S, disguise, to go from the sk, it's very similar. Okay, so sometimes it's hard to hear the difference, but most of the time it is important. So the colorful chameleon glowed a gorgeous green to disguise itself from the king cobra. All right, if you could change color like a chameleon can, then leave a comment right down there and tell me which color you would turn into. So that's it for this lesson, and I'll see you over in the next lesson. Take care.